What's up, my people? I hope you're ready. I hope you are ready today. You want to know why? Because I got my coffee. I'm ready to roll. I'm going to record a bunch of videos today. You're going to see me in these same clothes for a lot of videos. So just remember, I did them all today. I'm not wearing the same clothes every day. Okay. So we are flipping the script. We're done with module one. Thank goodness. I'm not a fan of that material, but I am a fan of the stuff we're going to start doing today because this is really important. It's stuff that you are going to use in integrated two and maybe even integrated three. And I know some of you kids are super successful and are going to go on to do big things, going to go to college. And a lot of this stuff is going to carry on. Okay, so just be mindful if you kids become contractors or I don't know, it's just math that you can use. And I'll show you why a little later. So make sure you got a pencil and paper out. There's no notes that you can print today. It's all just by hand. Okay, it's just you can see I don't have a worksheet here. It's just me by hand. I'm freestyling off the top of my dome all these problems. But really the title for today, and you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'll put it like this is simplifying radicals, right? That's our title for today. All right, and radicals are just square roots. So if you want to think of what a radical is, I know I'm pretty radical. That was a pretty lame joke, obviously, but radicals are just square roots. So I don't know where my little, oh, there we go. It's back. Okay, so radicals are square roots. So typically what you're going to see today, and a square root is something like this. Let me show you. A square root looks like that. And you can find it on your calculator. And if you did the square root of 100, right, it would shoot you out the number 10. Okay, because a square root just means like what number times itself is going to give us this number, right? What number times itself, right? So really 10 times 10 gives us 100. So that's what a square root is. Now, let me take you a little deeper into really what a square root is. And a square root, you can't see it because it's invisible, but there's an invisible little 2 right there that you can't see. And that's why it's a square root. Okay, when you get into integrated 2, integrated 3, whatever, you could have cube roots. So you'd see a 3 there, right? So, but we're not doing that today. Today we're doing square roots, and a square root has an imaginary 2 there. You won't even see that. And what that 2 means is we're pulling stuff out in pairs. Okay, so let me show you why this answer is 10. Okay, now typically if you, let me just show you really, I'll show you down the road. If you were to put square root of 48 in your calculator, it's going to spit out some crazy long decimal. Like 6.98432, blah, 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 blah. And we're not doing that today. We're not dealing with any decimals at all. We're dealing with whole numbers. And we're going to simplify these radicals. That's what we're doing today. Okay, so let me show you why, and hopefully you're just watching, why the square root of 100 is 10. And all we're thinking about is pairs. We love pairs. And I'm not talking pairs, P-E-A-R-S. Okay, I'm talking pairs, right? As in 2. We're always thinking about pairs. So here we like to break this guy down and say what numbers multiply to make 100? And almost every kid would say, oh, 10 times 10, right? Well, there's your pair. And when you find a pair, you take it out. This is like a little house. When you take a pair, it comes out of the house. And the 10, if you find a pair of 10s, it just becomes a 10. Okay, and that's why your answer is 10. Now, I'm going to take it a step further, and this is where I want you kids to just watch. Okay, you're not doing any writing right now. You're just watching. He's looking down in this direction, right? So watch me do this first example. I'm going to do a couple examples for you. Okay, so 1. Let's say the square root of 12. If you were to, we're not writing anything down right now, we're just watching. If you want to pause it later and write it down after you watch, that's great. So what we're going to do here when we're simplifying radicals is we're always going to break things down, right? This is like a little tree almost. We're going to make a little tree. Now, what times what is 12? Some kids will say 4 times 3. Some kids will say 6 times 2. Either way works. So I'm going to do 4 times 3 because I like 4s and I like 2s. Okay, for this kind of exercise with simplifying radicals, I like 4s. I really like 4s. Okay, and I like 2s. But that doesn't mean 6 times 2 won't work. So anytime that you break something down, cross it out and just trust me, do it. Okay, so now you got to say, okay, 4 is 2 times 2. Cross it out. Okay, anytime you get to a prime number where you just say, okay, we're not going to say 3 times 1. Okay, we won't say 3 times 1 because anything times 1 is just itself. We're going to leave it there. So we broke this thing down. This guy's crossed out. This guy's crossed out. So now it's fully broken down. 2 times 2 times 3 gives us 12. Now we're looking for pairs. There's a pair of 2's. That pair of 2's comes on the outside of the square root as a 2, right? If you have a pair, it comes on the outside as just a 2. And this guy, I like to call him our leftovers. He's just staying in the house. Okay, he's staying in the fridge, right? Our leftovers stay in the fridge. So our answer is a 2 on the outside, and our 3 are the leftovers on the inside. You see that? And you're like, this looks hard. Okay, it's not. Trust me. Okay, let me show you. I'm going to give you another example. Okay, let's do square root of 20. Square root of 20. Okay, so let's break it down. What times what is 20? I love 4s, so I would do 4 times 5. But I'm going to show you something different just so you can see it so you don't get mixed up. Let's say you did 10 times 2, and then you cross it out. And then let's say you said, oh, 2 times 5, and you cross it out. And a question that kids have is like, oh, I see 2 2's, but they're not right next to each other. Do you see how this guy's a pair? They're right next to each other. Okay, they don't have to be next to each other to be a pair. So watch. I'm going to circle these 2's, and they're going to come out of the fridge or whatever as a 2. This is our leftovers, and he's staying inside. That's why I like to cross everything out, because if you don't cross it out, you're going to have a lot of numbers. Okay, you're going to have a lot of numbers doing a lot of things. Okay, so our answer is we have a 2 on the outside, and we have our leftovers, which is a 5 on the inside. Okay? Now, let me show you one more example before I give you a couple practice problems. What if we have more than one leftovers in the house or in the fridge, right? What if you have more than one leftovers? Because typically, and if you open your fridge, you're going to have more than just one thing in the fridge of leftovers. So let me show you. So 40. Let's break down 40. Okay, 40, let's say 4 and 10, because you kids know I love 4s. And then we cross it out. See how I always cross it out when I break it down? Okay, let me break this guy down. 4 is 2 and 2, cross it out. You always cross it out. Trust me, it's the best thing you could do. This guy is 2 and 5, cross it out. Okay, now we have 4 numbers in here. We've always just had 3 before. Now we've got 4. Okay, do I have any pairs? Okay, there is a pair of 2's. It's going to come on the outside as a 2. And then you're like leftovers and leftovers. Okay, so let's write our answer. The 2 is on the outside. And anytime we have more than one leftovers, we multiply, right? We multiply if we have more than one leftovers. So 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, it'd be the same thing really quickly if we had more than one pair. So let me show you right here. What if we had like 2, a 2, a 3, a 3, and a 6, right? I'm just giving you an example. You'd say, oh, okay, my pair of 2's comes out as a 2. My pair of 3's comes out as a 3. and these are my leftovers, which is a 6. Anytime you have, let's see how we have more than one pair, this guy came out and this guy came out, you do exactly what you did here with your leftovers. If you have more than one number, you multiply. Okay, so our 2 times 3 would be 6, and our leftovers on the inside would be the 6. You see how that works? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scroll up, and you can either press pause or whatever. You can take a picture, you can rewind, whatever you need to do right now. If you want to rewind and take some notes or do what you got to do, go for it. Okay, I am going to pause just for a sec, and then I'm going to give you kids some practice problems. Okay, time for some practice, because we need practice. Okay, 1 square root of 8. 2 will be the square root of 18. And 3 will be the square root of, this one will be tricky, but that's okay. Let's do 24. Yeah. Okay, so see if you can do these. Go ahead and press pause. See if you can do them. I might sneeze right now, so just, I did, but I held it in so I didn't blast your microphone on your camera or computer. Okay, press pause and attack these, and then we're going to go over them. Okay, let's go over them. 8 is 4 times 2, cross it out. Okay, this guy is 2 times 2, cross it out. Everything's crossed out. We can't break anything down anymore, so we look for pairs. There's a pair of 2's. It's going to be 2 on the outside. There's my leftovers. He's staying on the inside. So I have a 2 on the outside, a 2 on the inside. Now for your homework, listen. You see how this says 2 root 2? Or you could say 2 radical 2. For your homework, it's going to say something like this. 2 rad 2. That's the only way I could put our answers in there. So see how this is like 2 root 2 or 2 radical 2? For your homework, this is what it says, 2 rad 2. So this means the same as this. Okay, that's how the only way I could put it in for the homework. So if you get this for your answer, good. It's just 2 radical 2. 2 radical 2. Okay, let's come down here for 18. 18, I'm going to say 9 and 2, 9 times 2. If you did 6 times 3, you get the same answer. Cross it out. This guy is 3 times 3. Cross it out. Okay, I'm all done. I can't break anything down anymore. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my pair of 3's. I'm going to pull it out as a 3. And those are my leftovers right there that are going to stay inside. So I have a 3 on the outside, and I have a 2 on the inside. Okay, on your homework, it's going to say 3 rad 2, right? 3 root 2, 3 radical 2, but we'll just say 3 rad 2. Okay, that's what it's going to look like on your homework. All right, last one is the trickiest one. This one is tricky for sure. Let's go 6 times 4. If you did 8 times 3, it's still going to work. If you did 12 times 2, it's still going to work. Okay, I just like my 4's. So let's break that down to be 2 times 3. Cross it out. This guy is 2 times 2. Cross it out, right? And we're all done breaking things down. Up, I'm going to give you this pair. The pair is going to go on the outside, right? And I have leftovers. I've got 2 things of leftovers. What do I do with my leftovers? I multiply them, right? So I have my 2 on the outside. 2 times 3 is 6 on the inside. And how do I write that? How are you going to see it on the homework? It's going to say 2. This is a radical. 2 rad 6. Okay? I'm going to give you one like bonus challenge right now, if you're ready for it. So this is our challenge question. Let's see if you kids can do it. 80. Okay, 80. Let's see if you can do this on your own. Then we'll go over it and we'll be done with this lesson. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. All right, I know I said I like fours, right? So remember, you could do 8 times 10. You could do 4 times 20. There's a lot you could do here, but I'll just do 8 times 10 because I think a lot of kids probably tried that. So let's do that. Cross it out. Okay, this is 4 times 2, right? Cross it out. This guy is 2 times 2. Cross it out. And this guy is 2 times 5. Cross it out. Okay, everything has been broken down. So we have a pair of 2's is going to come out as a 2. We have another pair of 2's that's going to come out as a 2. And that's our leftovers right there, the 5. So what do we do if we have more than one number on the outside? We multiply them. 2 times 2 gives us 4, right? And we have our leftovers of 5 on the inside. Boom. And in your homework, this would say 4 radical, which is rad 5. Boom. Hopefully you kids got that. And that is the lesson. And we're going to move on to the next one. And it's not going to get much harder at all. It's going to be practically the same thing with just a little spice on it, a little twist, a little hint of flavor. And that's that. So good stuff, kids. Appreciate you. See you in a minute.